La, la, la. Hello, everybody. I'm a few minutes early, just making sure that everything is working. Oh, it's totally working. Fabulous. How am I gonna, let's just work on this a little bit more. Bear with me. Always, I did yoga today, so I had no time to shower. From 12 o'clock is I don't have time to shower after the yoga, so my hair's kind of sweaty. I'm sorry. Anyway, what time is it? We're going to wait one more minute, and then we're going to talk about, what am I talking about today? Oh, yeah, my favorite subject, me. Hi, everyone. I'm Revi Goldwasser, and I'm really excited how the tribe is growing organically and naturally. It's great. Housekeeping rules. First and foremost, I use this platform called StreamYard. So I cannot, I can't even see your comments. Oh, there they are. So I'm here, cute. I bet that's Rivka. So you can either go to StreamYard and approve for privacy reasons. Only Facebook does it, like YouTube and everything else is not a problem. You can go to StreamYard and approve it, or when you make a comment, just write your name. So at least I can reference you. But I bet you the I'm here is Rivka. And okay, let's begin. So, you know, I'm really, really passionate about empowerment on a macro level. That's what the Fearless Woman is all about. And I made a promise to myself. Hi from Australia, gorgeous, yay. Tell me your name too, because again, on this StreamYard, I can't see who you guys are because they block it. So let me know your name. So I'll nope, it's me, Lisa. Oh, hi, Lisa, yay. So I'm really on a macro level, absolutely passionate to empower women. And it's just a personal mission that I have. And I promised myself after I divorced my husband after a 20-year marriage. This was around 5 years ago. And what happened when I went through that divorce, I was so stricken and so devastated, like many of us who do go through the divorce. And I recall that there wasn't something for us, right? There was, you know, CODA and AA and Al-Anon and a lot of these programs, but I had a real problem with them because, first of all, in those programs, you're not allowed to talk, meaning you just go and you kind of unload, but there's crosstalk is not allowed. And you guys can already tell that I really like to talk. And I have strong opinions and I like the dialogue. I find dialogue is so empowering because we all need to be heard. We all need to speak. So I was frustrated with that. And I just said to myself, you know, God willing, if I get through this and I become strong, I want to do something about it. My other frustration is that I really felt that the reason why a lot of women, we find ourselves in these, you know, unhealthy, toxic, compromising relationships is because of worth. Right. And it's funny, the thing with worth is that you may be a certain way in the external world, like you may be a successful doctor or successful, like I have my own recruiting company. You may be making lots of money and all that. So in the external world, you are strong and dynamite. But internally, I call it three lives. In the four walls at home, we're a different woman. And that's what I saw in myself, that in the outer world, when I was with my friends and doing my thing, I was really me. But when I came home, I became a frightened, meek, weak, scared woman. You know, limiting belief, not true, but that's what happened because I was constantly walking on eggshells with my husband and being afraid. So, we have thanks for joining, guys. Again, just so you know, please tell me your name because on the StreamYard, I can't see your name. So I just want to comment because this is really powerful. I've been divorced for 3 years. After a 25-year marriage, trying to pick myself up, starting from zero at age 47. Girlfriend, you are so not starting from zero. No. You are smarter, more intelligent, you know, educated, you know, knowledgeable, selective, empowered, you know, assertive, confident. So that's really, again, so this is what I talk about. Like, I don't allow anyone talking down. Like if you're going to say something not nice about yourself, I'm going to be like, you're not allowed to say that about yourself. So that's part of the love it, the little heart. So again, sorry, I don't see your name. So I apologize. I can't comment on your name, but that's what I'm all about. And one of the things that happened, I live in Boca Raton, Florida. There was a local support group, a divorce support group that I started going to a couple of years ago, and I fell in love with it. Like nobody knew about it. And we would sit in a circle and we would talk. It was an open group and it was incredible. And the reason why it was incredible is because we're not alone. Right, guys? And that's why the Fearless Woman, obviously I'm driven to women. This group is men and women, but you know, I am selective. And it was just amazing to hear everybody's stories. And that's what really blew me away. And I'm like, this is what I want to do. So that's what I'm doing in 2020. I decided to create a digital footprint to show up, and thank God for TikTok, which has really helped me make an impact because all the other platforms is so hard to penetrate. And I'm so grateful to all of you showing up. Bessie is my name from Australia. Hi, gorgeous. Hi, Rivka. I'm so impressed and grateful that we are coming together because we're not alone. You know, there is no shame in getting a divorce. Like, you know, people, when you tell them I'm divorced, they're like, oh, really? Like, no, it's great. Like being divorced to me is such courage. It's such empowerment because it takes a lot of balls for a woman to finally come to a point that says, you know what, this isn't working for me. Maybe he leaves, maybe you leave. I don't want to get lost in that minutia. But the point is, we have a lot of huevos. We have a lot of courage to be our own person. You know, the word woman is both man and woman, right? The word man is just man. And we, you know, I believe that a lot of men just can't cope without a woman. Women are able to cope without a man. We think we're not. We think that we can't make it, but those are, you know, that's all noise, static, limiting beliefs, not true. We are both man and woman. We are allowed to be both allowed. We are feminine and a feminist. And that's something that I really want to almost like insist upon, because a lot of women think that they cannot make it without a man. And that is just not true. It's not true. See, and we have choices as we recover and rebuild and create a new life for us, whether we choose to have a boyfriend, date or not, we can do it. Like, you know, we think we can't make it with a man, but think about all the years we were married. Was that so great? I mean, yeah, of course, there's good memories. All of us marry the man we loved, and they weren't all bad years. Even with my husband, I had many good years with him. I did love him very, very much. I did, even though, yeah, okay, he was toxic and unhealthy, but I'm being a grown-up here, and there were a lot of good years. I mean, 20 years is no joke, right? Yes, maybe 10 years of it, I was trying to figure out how to break up and work on it and all that. But guys, we're absolutely capable of making it. I was the man and the woman. That's right. Somebody just said, again, I'm sorry, I can't see your name. We are, Rachel and Del are getting a divorce, Lisa. I don't know who that is. I don't know who that is. But the point is, we are fearless women and we can absolutely make it without the man. Now, when you start recognizing that it is all about you and that you are strong and you are capable. So a lot of women, they say, well, how can I do it? How can I make it? I did it with him. Well, you need to recognize that even in your marriage, you think you have this veil over your head that you think that the only reason you made it was because of your husband. That is incorrect. Getting a divorce after 29 years, no way. No way. That's talk about courage. That's a fearless woman. That's a fearless woman. You know, it's never too late, ever. I got a comment, I don't know, DM, Facebook, I don't even know. This woman was, I think, 42, and she goes, I've been married 20 years. Is it too late? Hell no. It's never, ever too late. On TikTok, I see comments, women that married 35 years. It's never too late for you to embrace the fearless woman that you truly are, because you have a God-given right to be happy. You have a God-given right to be free. You have a God-given right to be independent. You have a God-given right for peace, and you have a God-given right for love, to be loved, to have love, and to give love. You have those choices. Now, there's a lot of women that choose to stay in bad marriages, and I get you too. We have women in the group that are married. Not all women are divorced here, but clearly them coming to the group, They're thinking about it. Divorce is not the end. It's the beginning. It's a second chance at life. Layla, my Dubai beauty queen, is in the house. So true. See, so when you have that mindset that getting a divorce, not from a place of zero, au contraire, like now you so get it. Because now that we've been married and most of us have our kids, we can do whatever the hell we want. You know, this business of following society rules and having to do what society says is a bunch of baloney. I just don't subscribe to it. I really don't. And I know that at many times I'm the elephant in the room, and I'm okay with it, because when you don't care what somebody thinks of you, this is truly a fearless woman mantra. I need to put like 10 of them together. When you truly release what people think of you to a point of your parents, right? I spoke to a woman the other day, Indian, so unhappy, crying on the phone to me. Is it okay for me to leave? She's so unhappy in her marriage, begging her husband, pleading with him. There's my little chihuahua. I have 2 of them, and they are always with me. So they're probably protecting me. So you guys have to bear with my cute little chihuahuas. This woman was crying on the phone. And she's like, you know what, Revi, I called my mother and you know, this is Indian culture, arranged marriages. So imagine the courage she had. She goes, Revi, I called my mother and I told my mother, I don't care if you stop talking to me, I'm leaving him. Do you know how courageous you need to be? At that point, that beautiful woman, that fearless woman said to herself, I'm willing to lose my relationship with my parents in order to be free and have my happiness. And guess what? What do you think her mother did? The exact opposite that this woman thought would happen. Her mother said, oh my God, I never realized how bad it was. Paradigm shift. See, you think by being frightened and not standing up and caring more about what they think, because of course her mother always said to her, you stay married, he's good for you, he's good for you. No, he's not. No, he's not. What the hell do you know what's good for me? Are you in the bedroom with me, with this man? Do you sleep in the bed with me, with him? Who are you to tell me what's good? And so many women actually release the power of that most important decision to a parent, to a best friend, perhaps to a psychologist. I don't know. I know I release that decision to everyone around me, my parents, my friends, my you know, society, my kids. Thought about my kids. Oh my God, what's going to happen to my kids if I do this? And then what happens? We die a slow death. We die a slow death. So all of a sudden, it's not me, 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 right? Today's theme is me, me, me. Heck, I want your whole friggin' life to be about me, me, me. My theme until the Almighty takes me back is me. Period. Me. So this woman was crying to me on the phone, beautiful woman. And she's like, Revi, I can't believe like that's what my mom said. See, so what happens, we create these limiting beliefs in our head that, you know, that people will disown us or they'll never want to talk to us. But when you decide that it is about you and you come to a point that you're like, I'm willing to lose that friendship. I'm willing for my parents to not talk to me. I'm even willing. I remember when I broke up, I came to a point that in my limiting belief, which was, by the way, completely not true, I thought I would die, like truly physically die. That's how bad it was for me. And I remember when I made the decision to leave my husband, I said, I would rather be dead than be with him. Of course, that didn't happen, and I was able to survive. And you see, but when we create all these things, oh, stop! You guys have to meet my little Marty. Come here, come Marty. Come. Oh, this is my Marty. Look at him. Look at this guy. He's the best lover in the world, by the way. All he does is love me and kiss me. It is absolutely pivotal in your transformation to know that it is all about you. If it's the only thing, if you never talk to me again, if you never join a Zoom meeting, if you leave the group, I don't care. I mean, again, like you make it about you, because when you're happy, when you're living your life, when you're truly authentic, You're free. So hold on, I meant to that. I was codependent. We'll talk about that. I was so codependent. I want to get to the point where I stop worrying about what people say and think of me too. Right. So Veronica, as long as you're asking the question, then you're not. Trust me. Okay. That I don't understand. Sorry, guys. I'm not following that. So the thing is, how do you get to that point? How do you get to the point that you don't care what people think? It's called worth. Right? When your sense of worth is more important than what they think, that's when you're able to release that hold that they have on you, which, by the way, you're the one that's created that. You're the one that's created that. Andre Ann from Montreal, when I told my mom about my divorce, she told me she wouldn't babysit more. Okay, thanks, Mom. Right. Okay, you know, again, sometimes with old school, with our parents, it's a little bit more old school. Okay, so don't babysit. So, you know, we have to realize that there might be situations that relationships with friends, with family may be severed, may end permanently. How much is your happiness worth to you? How much is your freedom worth to you? How much is your peace? Just, I remember all I ever wanted was peace. My husband always yelled and always screamed. It was endless. And I remember I would come home when we broke up, and I would come home and I would be like, can you hear that? Do you know how I revel in that? Peace. So that's a need. You see, we have needs, and my need for peace was so critical for me that when I had a husband who all he did was yell and scream, and he was a narcissist also, it rattled me. My brain would actually vibrate, and I would just run around and do everything to appease him, not to have that. It never dawned on me that I could just leave him, but there's such an element of fear in that too, right? So we have to be courageous enough and decide whose happiness do we care about more. You know, the thing with kids, and I know it's very hard, trust me, listen, my boys were 13 and 16 when I did that, like middle puberty, adolescent, you know, mom complex to that. Imagine, this guy was around too, but he was an easy one. He didn't give me any problems. It's the story of the airplane. When the airplane, God forbid, is going down and the oxygen masks come down. If you're going to put it on your kids first and you don't put it on yourself, God forbid, then what? So yeah, I know it sucks for the kids, and I do feel, I'm terrified of leaving, but I feel like I'm slowly dying inside. Look at these guys. I don't know who made that comment. First of all, I feel you so much. And by the way, there's a process for this, okay? I mean, it took me 10 years to leave my husband. So when I get those messages, I'm like, you know, you will know. And by the way, some women can't leave, and that's okay too. Like, I honor that too. And if you're that kind of person that can't leave, then the peace, oh, Layla from Dubai, the peace was the best thing ever. It's what I cherish the most. Me too, Layla. We're empaths. I have spoken to Layla. She's an empath. Like, this becomes a true critical need. Some people don't need peace. You have to know what your needs are. I'm terrified. So look at these words. I'm really fascinated by words and feelings. Terrified to leave, and I'm slowly dying. I mean, these are profound, guys. These are profound words. To be terrified and to feel like you're dying. That's not saying I'm kind of freaked out. I'm not feeling well. These are really powerful words. So when you have that fear, when that fear takes over, you have to be strong enough to assess the fear and to analyze the fear and to break down the fear. What is it of that fear that you are afraid of? It could be 20 things. So take each one of them and figure it out. Is it money? Is it, not making with that? Is it no man will ever want to be with me again? Is it that your family will disown you? Is it that he'll take your kids away? I don't know. These are not decisions that anyone can make. These are your decisions to make and your journey to walk. I honor a woman who has the courage to break up and leave a husband in an unhealthy environment. I also honor the woman who decides to stay. I'm not judging you. In fact, I judge favorably, because I know both sides, and they're both impossible decisions because both have collateral damage on both elements. So it is only you and you to decide that. And as long as you're whole with that, like, you need to then make that decision and do it because you've made that decision, not because you're worried about what mom and dad will say, or you're worried about what, you know, your neighbors will say, or your community. If you ultimately make that decision to stay in that marriage, it's not healthy for you, I honor you, because then I know that you've thought hard about it, and that is ultimately the best thing for you. And then what I say to people that aren't thriving in healthy relationships, then figure out other outlets to make you feel alive, whether it's yoga, exercise, whether it's, you know, starting to work, making money. Like one woman's like, she says, I don't have money, I can't leave him. Okay, so then what are you doing? Then figure out how to make money now. Like, if you're telling me the reason you can't leave your husband is because you have no money, then figure out how to make money. There's a zillion ways to make money. It's called YouTube and Google. There's no to me, there's no excuse about that. I don't care if you're dog walking. I don't care if you're, you know, maybe helping elderly people. There's a way to make some money and to figure things out. Not able to make it, well, Layla, I believe that each woman will know her in her gut. Yes. And again, see the word gut. I'm into these kinds of words, guys. Emotion is real. See, emotion is not in your head. The head is the analysis component. Lorena, it's not failure. I thought I was failure, but I believe I'm the strongest. You are strong. You are strong. Guys, for us to be brave to break up a marriage, do you know the huevos that you guys have? Huevos means, you know, balls in Spanish. Mis padres son de Argentina. My parents came from Argentina. Do you have any idea how strong we are? Do you understand the warrior inside of you to be able to do that? Of course it's heartbreaking. Listen, this group is about empowerment. Some women still are not ready for that. You know, I'm very careful. Like, of course, I'm not perfect, but, you know, if you're in a lot of agony, sometimes empowerment is not something you're able to deal with at this moment, because you do have to mourn. There's the 5 stages of loss. It doesn't just go to physical death. To me, when a divorce happens, it's a death. To me, it's a death. I know that I was a caterpillar. Then when I went through a divorce, I was into my cocoon, and now I'm not just a butterfly, I'm a friggin' eagle. And I'm not afraid to be alone, and I'm not afraid to die alone, and I don't need a man. And when you enter into that element of existence, especially, guys, because we've been married and we have kids, like check mark, like the jig is up, okay? Like, we know what marriage is really about. Of course, it's beautiful. There's elements of marriage and being married that's beautiful, but, you know, nothing is perfect. So I'm so passionate about you, me, because when we were married and we were working so hard to make the marriage work, we were worried about him. We were worried about our kids, rightly so. We should always worry about our kids. I will never forego that. But the kids will make through it and they'll live their own life. Layla from Dubai, a need is a negative emotion. We should want a man, not need him. So a need, let me correct you, Layla. A need is a human emotion. We should have needs. In fact, we should be very clear on what our needs are. To be needy is the problem. See, to be needy is a problem. To have needs, you better friggin' know what your needs are. Because if your needs aren't being met, then it is your job to stand up for your needs and say, this is what I need. But when you're needy, what you're doing instead is you come from a graspy, clingy, lackey way, and you attach to an unhealthy situation. And a lot of us, it is my opinion, I believe in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. A lot of us, the reason why we had, or we still have toxic partners, and we have that is because we had a lot of survival issues growing up that were not met. See, there are elements of needs that must be met in order for you to truly achieve transformation and manifestation as a human being. And they cannot really be met with a man. There's self needs that must be met on our own. Now, some of those needs come from being a kid. The challenge is if you're growing up in an environment that in any way you don't feel safe, you don't feel cared for, you all of a sudden have to be the adult. Let's say, you know, God forbid, your mom's not well and she's sick, and now you're taking care of mom, and now you're taking care of your siblings. Of course, it's a beautiful thing to do, but it's not natural. See, a child should be taken care of. If when we're little and we take care of others, it's not natural. So now we have this need of being taken care of because we never had that met. So now we're needy for that. And then we attach to a man that we think will do that, and it doesn't work. And unfortunately, you know, it's called a tikkun. Like I'm Jewish, and there's a beautiful word in the Hebrew spiritual language. I'm a very spiritual woman. It's called tikkun, and tikkun means to fix. Okay, an eagle. I love that she said eagle. I'm so glad I found you. I don't have anyone to turn to who understands. I'm sorry you don't have anyone to turn to who understands. I'm glad you found me, but I bet your real friends would be there for you too. Thank you for responding from Layla. Of course, my lovey. You phrased it better than I did. Oh, I just added to it. They're all layers. Cute Layla. It's you know, the element of not being taken care of when we were little is what creates a lot of drama in our lives. And it stems from that, but it doesn't have to make the woman that you are. Hello. So when we start, what time is it? Oh, 5 more minutes. I try to do these lives 30 minutes, guys. I got 5 more minutes. I really do like to talk. I have a lot of opinions. When we start going back and starting to understand our issues from our childhood, we can at least understand why this happened, because this to me is the most amazing part about it. We become experts in our husbands. Oh, my husband is textbook blah, 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 and my husband is blah, 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 and he's like blah, 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 and you 20 minutes you talk about him, and him. He did this, he did that, he's this, he's that, I know this, I looked him up. I go to my therapist, spend thousands of dollars on my therapist, we figured it out what he does. I'm like, what about you? They're like, what? You're so consumed by understanding him that you don't even understand you. You don't even understand you. And this is why I'm telling you all the time, women end up, when they go with another guy, they end up doing the same crap. They find the same guy because they think like now, oh, I figured him out. I know exactly what he's like. So you're so concerned about making sure you won't find that guy. But the issue isn't the guy. The issue is you. The issue is me. The issue is not him. Okay, fair enough. I understand all that. But you attracted this guy into your life. So the one time I was on a fence after leaving my husband, I was so scared, and working in a sleepaway camp, the owner, oh wait, so long, was amazing, told me, listen, Ron, after what, okay, I'm going to read it at the end because I'm finishing up. Change your muzzle. He was right. Okay, good. We'll read that some more. Rhonda, I think it's from Rhonda. Sorry, where was I? Oh, so the issue is you guys. You know, I remember when I left my husband and I called my psychologist. I believe that you should see a psychologist because that's an issue of the psychological factors. And I'm about passion. Like I'm about empowerment. I'm about emotion. I'm into that. That's where I come in. I'm fiercely opinionated on you and your emotions and passions. But I remember telling her, why did I allow this to happen? Why did I stay in this? I wasn't interested in him because my whole marriage, I was only interested in him. And that's where the worth came in. Where was Revi in the equation? Where is Layla? Where is Andre? Where Andre Ann? Where is Rivka? Where are you in the equation? Why? You know, I grew up in abusive drug hell. I never had a good relation with my parents, especially my dad. So when you grow up in trauma, what happens on a subconscious, this is from all the books that I read and a lot of really personal assessment. When you grow up with that on a subconscious level, that's your definition of love and family. That's what's so screwed up about it. Like no one really explains that to you, but that's what happens. See, because you know, as a grown-up, that's not healthy. You know, drinking, alcohol, screaming, yelling, My dad was a player, man. I grew up without a dad. I think in my whole life I saw my dad maybe, if I'm lucky, 3 months, and now he was killed in an accident around 4 years ago. I grew up without a dad. So when you have these abandonment, again, I'm not resurfacing that to blame, but I want to learn. So when you grow up in an environment that you're not truly taken care of as a child, you have this trauma and this chaos and this mess on a subconscious level. You're going to attract it again, because for you on a subconscious level, it's what is normal. This is the absolute crazy element of it. To you, that state of chaos, fear, trauma, fighting is family and love. It's absolutely sickening when you recognize that, but therein lies the power in taking that to a conscious level. And then what happens? It becomes very, very difficult, but very, very important to steer away from it. I'm going to give you one more little story and I'm going to back off because it's almost 12:30. Hi, I'm here. Oh, cute. Belief work is important. Yes. Layla, belief work is important, but more important is putting yourself first. I come first. Now, the way to have worth and the way to make it about yourself is to not react. React is emotional. React is visceral. React is, I'm going to go for the jugular. No, 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 no. When you want to truly understand your worth, you make a decision. Do I want to have this discussion? Do I want to, how am I handling this? I had a friend of mine on Friday that called me and she went bananas on me. I did something that hurt her feelings. Of course, it was unintentional. She called me and was screaming at me. And I pulled the phone away. I didn't even hear what she was saying. But you know what I was saying in my mind? I'm like, Revi, I can either choose to listen to it. I can also choose to defend myself, which I didn't feel I needed to, or I can choose to hang up. And I went, bloop, and I hung up. I don't want drama in my life. And if this person, perhaps only now to me, I'm realizing that she's part of a drama that kind of turns me on because of what I was, I understand that now, then maybe that friendship with her has to end. I'm not sure, and I'm still thinking about it. Again, I sent her a text and I said, listen, I'm hurt. You're hurt. I need time to think and we'll talk soon. Very calm. She sent me a text this long, pages. I didn't even read it. Pages of text is drama. 2 sentences is owning your emotion and controlling yourself. That's having worth, because that's you being on a conscious level and saying to yourself, do I want to go there? Because I don't know about you, but I put a post today, I like to put my little discussion, my thoughts for the day. I need love. That's my need. We talk about needs. I need love. I was so needy for love that I had a very toxic man in my life. So once I learned to self-love and surround myself with that type of love, now the man in my life, his mantra is love. Like he's identical to me in that. And that's what's incredible. I cannot even imagine a man like that exists, because in my life, the man like that could not exist. But that's not true, because the minute you make those decisions to know that you have worth and to understand what your needs are and not be needy about it, but be clear on that, magic happens. Painful, difficult, very hard, but extremely empowering and freeing. And man, it feels so good, because no one's going to fight for your happiness unless you do. Just like that woman finally confronted her mother. And by the way, I know the other woman mentioned that her mom says she's not going to be. Okay, fine. That's too bad, because ultimately for that grandmother, that woman's mom, she loses out on a relationship with her daughter and her grandchildren. For what? To be right? Okay, you want to be right. You're allowed to, if that's a need that you have to be right, I honor that, but I honor my happiness the most. Okay, guys, you don't even know what a healthy relationship feels like. Well, the good news is that you know what an unhealthy relationship feels like. So there's the paradigm shift. So at least now you know what you don't want. I can listen to you for hours. You're so yummy, Layla from Dubai. my beauty queen. You make so much sense. Thank you for putting things in perspective. You guys are, she still babysits now. Sometimes people just need to talk. When you show up, people respect that. When you show up strong, people respect that. And you're worth it. You deserve it. What are we asking for? I used to say to myself, I want peace, freedom, independence, happiness, and love. It's your God-given right. And it's free. You don't need money for that. You don't need money for that. Thank you for this. You showed up right at the right time. Mwah. Okay, guys, my Zoom Fearless Woman Support Group, it's so cute. I really would love for you guys to come. I do it. This is New York Eastern Standard Time, Monday, 12 noon Eastern, Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern. It's $5. And instead of me just talking to my computer and seeing people commenting, we get to have a dialogue. We get to have a discussion. Everyone gets to speak. They get to be heard and they get to listen. And we talk in a very supportive way. I'm not feeling sorry for you. I'm not going to say shame for you. My goal is empowerment. My goal is growth. My goal is transformation for you to achieve my 5 things: freedom, happiness, peace, independence, and the most important thing is love. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 12 noon. I'm doing for the month of June, I'm testing out Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday at noon. I don't know if I'm going to continue it. We'll see. But the Zoom I really love. Okay, guys. Take good care, guys. You come first. Bye, guys.